Hello, everyone. Welcome to William in the Magic Box. Today is Christmas. I would like to wish all of you a very Merry Christmas. I hope you are having a great time with your family, your friends, your loved ones. And also, today is a special day because my guest is celebrating his birthday. His name is Harley, and he's from Texas in the USA. So, Harley, happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, dear Harley. Happy birthday to you. Hey, I hope you are having an amazing day. Okay? Merry Christmas, everyone. And I hope you're enjoying the interview. Hello.
Hello.
Hello, Harley. How are you?
Good over you.
Very well. Thank you so much for taking the time today for the interview. Thank you.
Absolutely. Thanks for inviting me.
My God, I love your background.
Thank
Wow. Tell me a little bit about it. What's that?
So these are my community bears. Each individual represents a community that I hold close and near and dear to my heart. The red bear is undetectable bear, which is HIV stigma. He's my pride and joy. But you have trans bear, that's going to be female to male. Undetectable bear, boot black bear, pet pup bear, team friendly bear, bear community bear, and then leather community bear.
Wow, my goodness, I love that. That's but this one you created or this one is somebody created for you?
I did not draw it, but it was my vision. I contacted an artist. I think I ran across his stuff on Etsy, and I reached out to him and I told him my idea, and he drew them up for me.
My God, I love it. I'm looking at them now. I like the green one, like very happy with the hands like that. Amazing.
So Boot Black Bear, the green one that you're talking about, that one is actually designed after a boot black out of Dallas, Texas.
Wow, my God, amazing. I love that. I'm glad that you brought that behind so people they can appreciate and also they can, connect with them as well. And it's just expressing, you know what I mean, the community around. It's amazing, amazing. So tell me, how was your day today? How's your day going so far?
Just been sleeping in. Um, wor- it's been a stressful week at work, but I mean, it's been just having a job and having something to go to in the morning is great. So it's stressful, but I mean, you get through it, right?
And tell me, where are you from, Harley?
I live in Midland, Texas, which is it's West Texas, like so we're about a few hours away from Lubbock, like south of Lubbock, and then about 4 hours, I want to say. Think I want to say away from El Paso. So we're kind of like right there.
I see. I think I have a few guests on the show from El Paso, if I'm not wrong. I think I had. And Midland is the place where you're born and raised?
No, so I was raised in a town called Coleman. I was born in a town called San Angelo. But yeah, I West Texas is the oil field country in Texas and in the South primarily. Yes, we have oil field everywhere, but it's the busiest here in Midland, Odessa area, the Permian Basin.
I see. And so tell me, what do you do for work, for living?
So I'm a forklift operator. I work for an oil field company. I've
Mhm.
been doing that off and on for about 10 years. I've been with my current company going on this month, 3 months.
Wow, quite new.
Yes.
Amazing. Okay, so during the journey, I'm going to explore a little bit more about your life, your point of views. Okay?
Okay.
So before we start our journey within the magic box, I would like you to tell me something interesting about yourself.
So something interesting about myself is I am a former Bear title holder. I'm Route 66 Bear 2022.
Wow. Tell me a little bit more about the competition.
So the competition is held by a event called Kink Weekend, Route 66 Kink Weekend out of Oklahoma City, Oklahoma. It is a national title, but there's people that join all over the country, all over the world. It is a smaller event, but it's starting to grow. But yeah, they have Mr. Miss um, Bear, and it's going to transition over to pup, or from pup to pet, and then they also have Boot Black, and I think Boot Black is on pause for right now.
I see. So you were the 2022.
Yes.
You hold. And did you still hold the title, or you already passed to the next one?
No, I stepped down and I passed it on to the next title holder.
I see. Amazing. Okay, so during the join, I'm going to explore a little bit more about your life and also about your point of views, okay?
Okay.
Ali, are you ready to go on a beautiful journey through your memories in life to share your point of views?
Absolutely.
Welcome to William and the Magic Box. So I've got here my best friend. Okay, full of random fun questions. I'm just gonna play a song now just for us to relax a bit before the first question, okay?
Okay.
Let's do it. Hey, Harley, so before we start the game, during the join, if it comes up a question that you don't want to talk about, some reason you don't want to answer, always can change, okay?
Okay.
First question for you is, what is your favorite kitchen smell?
What, my kitchen smell?
Yeah,
Favorite
your
kitchen?
favorite.
Oh my gosh.
Do you like cooking?
I don't really cook that much, but I do. Okay, so probably Mexican food. Um, just all of the scents and the spices.
I see. And so you never, so you don't like cooking, you don't cook at all?
I do cook, but to be honest with you, it's more like me throwing different spices in and then hoping for the best. And usually it does come out pretty good.
Are you more of a savory or a sweet person?
I'm both. I have to stay away from sweets because the sweet tooth is extremely it's a huge sweet tooth.
Me too. Big one. Next question. Hey, next question for you is, what's the best advice have you ever received?
So I think it's probably going to be the back when I was 19, way back in the day. I was in a bar. I was approached by two taller, older countrymen, and they told me, "Do not wait too late to come out." Because they told me that they waited a while to come out, and I was already out at the time. But being out, showing pride in who you are, doesn't matter if it's your sexual orientation, your gender, your ethnicity. Be proud of who you are, and live in the moment at all times.
And the day when you came out, did something happen or you just felt like, okay, from now on, I'm just going to be my true self?
So back when I first came out, I was enduring a lot of trauma. And it was just like basically pulling large boulders off my chest. So one of those boulders was me not living as a gay man, as a gay boy, whatever you want to say. I was 16, 17 when I came out. And one of those boulders was me coming out. So, yeah, I believe everybody should live for themselves and be happy rather than being locked in a closet with all kinds of locks barricading them inside of that little box.
I see. And there, the area where you live right now, Midland, it's okay to be gay. Do you feel safe, or it can be a bit tricky?
So here in the South, people refer to the South as the Bible Belt. It is. People like to push their agendas, their religions down people's throat. They say that the queer community has, the gay agenda, but they have more of the Christian agenda where if you want to be something, you need to hide that out and keep it away from people. Um, I don't really have very much issue with being openly gay. As I said, I work in the oil field, but this area is not really a welcoming area for many things. So we don't have like a major, huge gay pride here. We do have a small event here, but it's not nothing compared to like a Dallas or Austin or Houston.
I see. And which time of the year does it happen, the gay pride there?
I think it's actually during Pride Month. I think it's like June or July. I want to say, and then because they have multiple events throughout the year. Um, Last year they had one for Halloween where they did drag shows at this place called Beer Garden in Midland, Texas.
I see. Okay. Next question. Let's do it. Right. So before the next question, when I was checking your profile, there was a phrase there that got my attention. It says there, remove the stigmas and phobias of our community. Yeah. When you say
Yes.
that, what's the biggest stigmas that is still happening in the area right now?
So the biggest stigmas that we do have in my area primarily is HIV. It's lack of education, lack of awareness. You have some people that are on PrEP, uh, pre-exposure prophylaxis. I don't know if you've heard of that.
Yes,
Um,
prep, yeah.
yeah, so you'll have people that are on PrEP but are extremely shallow and rude to people who are undetectable. It does happen. Um, People need to be more self-aware and educated because, I mean, you just need to be an adult and talk to the individual. We do have people out there that lie about their status, whether they don't know or they were recently diagnosed with HIV and they're just ashamed about it and they just, instead of seeking treatment and protecting themselves and others, they go out there and do risky things with other people, and then therefore putting other people at risk of exposure to HIV. The other phobias that I speak of are transphobia, homophobia, um, racism. We have all those different things inside of the communities. Because I was saying remove the stigmas of HIV, but the stigmas, so I can basically wrap it all into one and say, let's remove all of the hatred from our communities. Because in a way, it's kind of like so metaphorically, we're kind of like a stomach. We're hungry, but the stomach eats itself. So that's what happens in the community. We bite at each other and we fight each other, and then we have people from the outside coming in outside, attacking us as well. So we're being attacked from the inside and the outside as well. The term family is no longer a what it used to be once. It's more of who you know and who you blow, in just in my sense.
Yeah, it's interesting you saying that, Harley, because as you said, you already face a lot of, let's say, hate from outside. You know what I mean? The community, and I think we should be all together in the end of the day because we get stronger. But if there is some crash in the community, I think we get it can be a bit tricky as well, difficult to to be stronger and face the reality that we face out of the away from the community, if you know what I mean.
Absolutely.
I think the best thing is being together, understand that we are all in the same boat. It doesn't matter, inside of the community, there are different tribes, different communities. But in the end of the day, we are all the same. You are all the same, like fighting for the same, rights. We are all together in the same boat, trying to be our truly selves.
Absolutely. And the term "united we stand, divided we fall." That doesn't just go along with uh, the country, but also with the community. Because if we stand together, we can fight together. If we're divided, then we fall apart.
Absolutely. Okay. Next question for you is, if you were to raise a child, yeah, what are the most important things would you like them to learn?
Respect for others. It doesn't matter if what their age is. Hardworking. I'd want them to know how to work different things. Um, Kindness and love, because I wouldn't want them to endure the things that I went through as a child.
Wow. Kindness, it's one of the big main. It's so easy to be kind, isn't it? It doesn't take much of us to be kind. And when you are kind to other people, actually, this kindness come back to you in a such bigger proportion.
Absolutely.
Amazing. Next question. Let's do it. Hey, Harley, next question is, who are you most thankful for and why?
Most thankful person that I am thankful for. I think, not sound like arrogant or anything, but myself. I've grown so much. As I said, I've endured a lot of pain in my past, primarily my childhood, but I've grown so much. And the one thing that I can say is I'm thankful for those who have stood by me, whether they're new chosen family and then the chosen family I've known for years. They stuck by me, the ones that were true and loved me for who I was. Knew that I was going through some struggles, but they stood in the background and were waiting for me to, go through my little thing, and they stood by me. But for the most part, it's myself, for pulling myself up by the bootstraps and getting my life together.
Beautiful. I love that. I think in the end of the day, it's down to us. People, they're going to support us, they're going to be around us. But if you're not the one who's going to pull yourself up, what's the point? It's never going to happen anything.
Absolutely.
And when you think about yourself and when you analyze yourself, what's the best part of being you? What do you like the most about being yourself?
Most important thing that I love about myself is the fact that I'm open-minded. Um, that is learning about religions, ethnicities, cultures, being open-minded to basically anything and everything.
Amazing. Good. Ready for another question?
Yes.
Let's do it. Next one. Right. So before the next question, yeah, I was checking your profile again. I could see your piercings. I could see the one you have in your nose. It was very beautiful. The colors, like half color as well. I loved it. So tell me, you always been fascinated about piercings?
So body modification, I do enjoy. It's like adding decorations and ornaments to your body. Um, The septum, there's piercings that I do feel that should be stretched, or I like the way that they looked when they're stretched. My ears are stretched to 1 1/8. My septum is now a 4 gauge, but it's always fascinated me, and I like to push my body as much as I can, to see not just what I'm mentally capable of, but what I'm physically capable of doing.
Wow. Tell me which one was the very first one you ever had?
My very first professional piercing was my tongue. I don't have it in, but my tongue piercing has gone through rough days. It was ripped when I first got it.
Ooh,
Yeah. So I was like, there was a lot of fluid coming out, red fluid, and I've also stretched it down to, I want to say, like a 4, like a 4 gauge. So like this inside of my tongue.
oh wow. So you don't have it anymore?
I have it. It's just it's down to, it's probably like a 14. a 14 gauge. I pop it in. I have to push it back through because the skin grows over, but I push it in and leave it in for a few days just to make sure it's still open.
And which one is going to be your next one? Are you planning for the next one?
My my next piercing, probably my eyebrow. That's probably what I had the next. Because I got some of them when I was pretty young. The eyebrow, I can still push it through, but I don't really wear it normally.
I see. Okay. Next question for you is, what does family mean to you?
So I'm not super close to my biological family, but my genetic family. Um, I'm closer to my mother's side of the family. My mother passed away when I was a little under 5. She was taken out of the world when she was only 23. Um, my mother's side of the family has been the one that I've been not closest to, but closest to, if that makes sense.
Mm-hmm.
Um, my uncle Dan, has always been there. He's just been in the background. Like if I need him, he's there. He was very protective of me and my mother. Um, and when my mother passed away, he he just basically circulated to me because embody a lot of both of their features, a lot of their great features actually. And I don't speak to my father's side of the family, but I do have my chosen family that I speak
Mm-hmm.
to uh, a good bit. I don't talk to my chosen family all the time, but if somebody needs something or if I need something, I reach out to them.
I see. And your uncle, the one you mentioned, he's the person you are more close to in your family, biological family?
Yes, he's my oldest uncle on my mother's side,
Mm-hmm.
and he's so this is the kind of person he was back in the '80s. He was the kind of guy that he actually drove it. It was a Trans Am, I want to say. So yeah, he was a big old rocker, long-haired man, and he listened to Queen and Pantera. So yeah, but he's calmed down since then. But I mean, he's still there. But yeah, he's very inspirational to me because he's a very hardworking man and he's very successful. And when I say successful, he's got, his marriage, his kids, and which are my cousins. And people define wealth in many forms, primarily over financial, wealth, but I define it as in many ways. Financial, family, friends, love, all those things.
Absolutely. Again, family, of course, we have our biological family that was introduced to us, but at the same time as well, our chosen family, friends, there's so many connections that feel like it meant to cross our path. Yeah.
Yes.
And they stay forever. Next question, Harley. Let's do it. Hey, next question for you is, in 2022, oh, sorry, 2020, the world went upside down with the COVID crisis. Tell me, what have you learned during this time, that's challenging time that the world were facing at the time? Did something positive that's happened to you came out of that challenge journey?
So back then, back in 2020-ish, I was in a dark mindset. I've always dealt with what's it called? Depression and um, I can't even think of the actual word. Depression and anxiety. Yeah.
Mhm.
Um, but it taught me that mental health was very important. Um, and just the growth. I mean, I do believe that in every negative, there's a positive. I was going through a negative time in my life, but it just taught me to be stronger and basically, well, yeah, that mental health are very important.
Yes, I think it is interesting because before we never heard I remember growing up, I never heard the word mental health before, as it's so popular right now. People, they stand up for it. They talk about it. They break stigmas. People, they educate us. I think it's a big thing right now. And I think all of us at the time as well, we face a lot of hard time because not knowing was a bit, was quite difficult to deal with. It was very stressful.
Yes, being in control of your emotions and your body and the image that people give to you is very important. The most important person that you need to worry about is yourself. So some people, like to put their mindset on this individual thinks this way of me, this individual thinks this way of me. No, you need to focus on yourself and your happiness, because if you're focused on everything else, then you can't see the beautiful things that are in front of you. And
Do you,
I've been that person that didn't see the beautiful things right in front of him.
do you feel that right now in your life you are living your best life?
Financially, no, probably not. But mentally, yes. I love myself. So that's a not really a double-edged sword. It's basically you have to see the glass half full rather than half empty.
Amazing, very good. Next question. Let's do it. Harley, you are very open about sex, about express yourself, sexuality, yeah? So, you always been this way?
Um, it's taken me a little bit to get more comfortable with talking about things. Um, just being in my late 30s now. But yeah, it's because I'm kind of conservative on certain things, but um, I've been that one person that talks about anything and everything. The questions that people don't want to ask, I ask. The questions that people don't want to answer, I answer. So
What's
yeah, I'm pretty comfortable with all of that.
So tell me a question that people ask you that you feel very comfortable talking about, that people are not expecting, that you go like, okay, I can answer that easily.
Just questions on HIV. What does undetectable mean? And I just tell them, uh, HIV undetectable is untransmittable. Undetectable is where you can no longer transmit the virus to somebody else.
Absolutely. And I think nowadays people they are more educated about it. Don't you think? I have this feeling. It's still there are a lot of things people they don't understand, stigmas as you mentioned before. But at the same time as well, when you talk to people, for example, in London, I don't know in Texas, but in London, for example, there are so many advertisements on the streets, public transport about PrEP, about HIV, undetectable, all those education, like how to educate ourselves. And it's fascinating to see that because before I never seen something like that before. And nowadays there are so many posters around the city, encouraging people to test, about PrEP, that it's available. People can protect themselves and others as well. How about there? Is that same as well? People they promote a lot.
It's primarily in the larger areas. I know that they do a lot of advertisements on TV commercials. The one thing that I cannot stand are the HIV treatment medication commercials and PrEP commercials. Is primarily it's circulated and spotlights the queer community. HIV affects everyone. PrEP is for everyone,
Mhm.
and they make it seem like it's just a queer disease, queer virus, and it is not. I do go live with um, a few individuals. There's two women and two guys, and we all have different backgrounds. We're all from different parts of the country. Um, the two the four people, the two women and the two guys, they're all undetectable. One is a stand-up comedian. He was born with HIV, and then the other ones were exposed to it, and then later tested with HIV positive results.
Wow. Okay.
And you were talking about the UK. So I was watching a documentary, and they had this pen. It was a heart with like an arrow going through the heart. I don't know if you've seen it.
Yeah.
I actually bought one of those.
Oh, really?
I was watching a documentary on it, and I kept seeing that beautiful pin, and I was like, what is this pin? It's got to be HIV related. Well, it was, I want to say it was the 40th anniversary pin that they had for people that were not really targeted, that were affected by HIV/AIDS. And I ended up buying it. The shipping was more than anything, but it was well worth the purchase because it went to a great cause.
Wow, amazing. Okay, next question for you is, what is the best first date have you ever been on?
I think I'm not really a picky person and one of those bougie types. So coffee, anything small is great to me. Even just chilling out and um, getting to know each other. It doesn't have to be like the high-end restaurant where you got to dress all, you know, tie and suit and everything like that. The ones that are relaxed that, you get to know the individual is my thing.
One person to go on a date with you, what this person must have?
Like before or during.
Yeah, the very first date. One person want to go on a date with you.
The first date, I'd like the person to have a sense of humor. Because, I
Uh-huh.
mean, my sense of humor, it just ranges. Um, I have a very filthy mouth. F bombs come out of my mouth normally. Let's just say that if I got paid for F bombs, I'd probably be rich. That's how much I use the terms.
Amazing. Three questions left for you, okay? Let's do it. Right, but before the next one, tell me a little bit about the journey when you applied for the competition to be Mr. Bear, and tell me the whole experience since when you heard your name that you were the winner.
So I ran for the title that I held twice. I ran for it in 2019 and then 2022, which was last year. And it was like any contest that you have. Um, it's just one weekend. It's usually a Thursday through a Sunday or a Thursday through a Saturday. It's very stressful. It feels like you've been there for weeks, um, even though it's only been there for a few days. Um, so Route 66, the event and the contest. The event is a kink related, so anybody and everybody is welcome. It doesn't matter if you're kinky or not. Um, and the event, no, the title holders are required to teach classes about their platforms, or even just fun classes. Um, but it's a national title. It's a great title to hold if you are into teaching people about things. I taught people and spread awareness about HIV, AIDS, PrEP, and um, um, also just other STIs, just to protect yourself and to protect others. If you have an STI of any sort, whether it's treatable or curable, to protect yourself, as in get yourself tested, and then treatment and to protect yourself and others as well.
Very good. Okay. Next question is, good question. If you're not yourself, would you like to be yourself?
I love being myself because I'm the one person that can actually, I try to see all sides of everything. I try to protect people the best to my ability. Um, but I'm not one individual. I've actually have helped people crush homophobia because they've never been around a gay person, or they've been extremely homophobic and they get around me. Either you like me or you hate me. There's really not an in between. I don't shove my sexuality down anybody's throats, but if you come off sideways with me or another individual for no reason, then I'm just basically going to put you in line. I'll set you right back in that line where you should be.
What's your star sign in astrology?
I'm a Capricorn.
December or January?
Yeah, December.
Which day?
The 25th.
I got on Christmas Day. Oh
Yeah.
my God! Wow. How do you feel that you were born on Christmas Day? Do you feel a privilege? Do you feel a bit strict because on Christmas Day, where do you get two presents or just one?
I get screwed on that part. I am a Norse pagan, so I don't celebrate Christmas. I celebrate Yule, and I'm still learning all those things here and
Uh-huh.
there when I can about Norse paganism. But it's a celebration no matter what, and I joke around with people, and I tell them that I'm feeling very generous that I'm giving them my birthday off. And they just laugh away. It's like, well, kind of we have to because it is a national holiday.
Basically. Two questions left. Let's do it. Before the next question, all those beautiful bears behind you, which one, like the way they are dressed, the way they are express themselves, which one you feel more connected? It's you. You feel like more about like expressing you. One of those bears behind.
So the undetectable bear is my pride and joy. That's the reason why these bears came to be. Um, and that's the one thing that I do love about my bears. And I tell people this all the time, and it's a very true thing. So the bears bring up their conversation starter when people see them, whether they're on shirts, hoodies, flags, the fans, because that's what I put them all on. Um, they spread love and kindness and education without speaking, without human touch, and that's the one thing that was biggest my biggest goal was to bring up subjects and bring up questions that people may not want or may not know specifically. Um, so when they see the bear, they're like, "Hey, what does this mean? What does all this mean?" And so the individual wearing the shirt will just basically give them a teaching moment and tell them, "Hey, this bear represents this. You see that thing on their chest? That represents a flag for a community."
They have names as well or not?
Yes. So you have the trans bear. This bear is the female to male trans bear. Undetectable bear. This is U equals U bear. Boot black bear. That represents the boot blacks in our community. Pet bear. He represents the pups, pets, and critters. Team friendly bear, which is that HIV stigma organization. Uh, Bear community bear, and then leather community bear.
Amazing. Very good. Next question is, talking about food in the beginning of the interview, what is one food you could eat for the rest of your life?
Let's see. I could eat it for the rest of my life, but I probably would not be able to leave a house because I'd probably be as big as the door. Um, it would have to probably be pastas because of all the carbs. But I just enjoy pastas because it's just amazing. And dessert, cheesecake.
Oh. And that there is something that you can't eat or don't like eating at all?
I think I would say olives or anchovies.
I love anchovies.
Yeah, my ex he loved anchovies, and I'd be eating parts of his pizza, and I'm like,
I
"What is
love
that
pizza.
smell?" And he was like, "It's anchovies." I'm like, "Oh." But yeah, people have their different things. Like I personally can eat sardines, but I can't do anchovies.
Interesting. They're so similar. My God, very interesting. You say about pizza. I remember I used to live in another area in London, and I remember there was this pizza place very close by, and I remember I was going there once a week to get a pizza, and there was one with anchovies. And when I was going there, I was like, "Please, can you put extra anchovies?" And it's funny because I got used to it, and every all the time when I was going there, the guy was like, "Extra anchovies?" I was like, "Yes, please."
He knew you.
I know he got absolutely after going so many times. Ready for the last question? Let's do it, Harley. Next question. But before the last question, I'm gonna ask you a question. In the beginning of the interview, you open up to talk about, your childhood that was difficult. You went through a lot of struggles. My question for you is, if you had the superpower of erasing or taking out that, challenging childhood memories that you've been through, would you keep it or would you take it out, knowing the person you are right now?
If there was only one thing that if I could change, could I do that?
Yes.
Change? Okay, so if I could change anything, it would, I know it's not possible, but the one thing that I would change is my mother being pulled from this earth from this world, too early in my life and her life.
Wow.
And it would have altered a lot of things that I wouldn't have gone through.
Wow. Beautiful answer. I'm sure your uncle, people, they shared with you like memories about her, and can you share like a memory that they shared with you that you go like, oh my God, that was something special about her?
Um, my grandmother, when she was alive, she passed away uh, in 2021. She told me about how my mother kept her pregnancy from her, and she ended up getting hurt. And she, they went to the hospital, and then the doctor's like, "Hey, do you want to tell your mom something?" And she ended up telling her that she was pregnant, and it was me. And she, I got, they delivered me, and my mother apparently she looked at my grandmother and said, "This is what you've been making such a big fuss over for the last 9 months."
Oh my God. Oh, oh. Last question is, what do you think people need to know about each other before they start a relationship?
I'm picky at the same time. I'm picky, but I'm not. Um, I
For
prefer
example,
I like well, so I like actions over words because people can speak all they want, but because you can say, "Well, I do this and I did that." Well, I need you to do this and I need you to do that, rather than just speaking about it. Show me, don't tell me.
wow, what's the meaning of love for you?
Meaning of love is basically through thick and thin, being there. Um, that's basically it because everything else, you're sticking with that individual through it all. Because some people will throw away a long term relationship or even a marriage over the dumbest things rather than trying to work them out.
Okay, it's not the end yet. Let's play now the word association game. Okay, I'm going to give away some words. Just tell one word that comes to your mind. Quick thinking. Okay,
Okay.
let's start with family.
Family chosen.
Money.
Finances.
Fear.
Joy.
Life.
Happiness.
Sex.
Positivity.
Love.
Infinity.
Religion.
Open.
Politics.
Politics. Freedom.
Friendship.
Family.
Desire.
Fantasy.
Ooh. Regret.
Knowledge.
Success.
Failure.
Wish.
Plan.
Happiness.
Yes. Success.
Okay. One word for Texas.
Giant.
One word for USA.
Let's say divided.
Right. And actually, I would like you to, as you introduced all the bears behind you, can you define all of them in one word only?
Love.
Oh, that's so nice. Wow, amazing. Let's pretend I'm going to meet your best friend for a coffee. Yeah. And I'm going to ask your best friend, define Harley in one positive word and one negative word only. What your best friend would say.
Supportive. And then the negative word, protective, I guess.
Interesting. Interesting. Okay. Let's play now Harley and the Magic Box, and you can ask me a question. Okay, you can ask me a question now.
Let's see. Okay, we'll just use the same one of the same questions I used. If you could change one thing in your life, what would it be and why?
Good question. Good question. If I could change something in my life, wow. Okay, so the first thing that came to my mind is if I could change the way that sometimes when I'm very, I feel I'm an anxious person. Yeah, I'm very proactive. Yeah, if I could change my overthinking, I would change that. The older I get, I work on it and I feel more relaxed. But, however, it's still there. You know what I mean? I still there, and I wish I could relax more about that because sometimes it could be in a good way, in a positive way as well. Sometimes, if I'm thinking about something sad or melancholic, I tend to keep going until I get very drained and I feel down, like a bit down. And if I'm very happy for some reason, I keep thinking and I keep like, going on the way and trying to get more excited about it, and I get tired as well. So I can go both ways. So nowadays, the older I get, I can control that more, but still there. I still catch myself sometimes in the same situation. I get, oh my God, Willie, you're already in that mood again. So I try to distract myself and I try to get myself more relaxed. But yeah, if I could change something, I would work harder on that for sure. Yeah. Cool.
That's awesome.
Did you enjoy the interview, Harley?
I did, and I appreciate so much for you inviting me in.
Absolutely, absolutely. And I'm so glad that, you brought these, figures behind you to educate more people, to open their minds, to understand that there are more different communities that we need to understand, embrace, respect. And again, all of them behind you, all of them, they are all in the same boat. We are all this, not just them, but other communities as well. The LGBTQ plus community, there are so many tribes. And end of the day, as we were talking about, we are all in the same boat. So let's guide these boats in a proper way. Not that like go in different directions because we're gonna get weaker. So let's get stronger. Let's get all the community together and understand there are a lot of stigmas. There are a lot of things that maybe even ourselves sometimes we don't understand. Try to respect or to educate yourself. Ask questions like people like you know what I mean? You're holding a title for a year, I believe. So I'm sure you did a lot of work as well and help people. So I think if you have a question, if you don't understand, there's so many people nowadays, social media, or people they can reach out and you can ask questions, and people they're going to educate you, they're going to understand, and you're going to be more open-minded and more approachable as well regarding that. So thanks so much for being so kind and to bring that about HIV as well. In the end of the day, I think talking about is about breaking stigmas and understand that, if you get tested, if you go there, you're just not protect yourself, but other people as well. So thanks for bringing up that.
Absolutely.
Thank you. Before you go, if you can share a positive message or anything that you live by.
I would just like to thank the people that I have gotten knowledge from, that have guided me along the bumpy road, and I've turned it into a really good smooth pavement. So they gave me the education and a little bit of resources, and I chose that and I guided the way. And then I would also like to thank those that I've helped out with mentoring them, because the people that I inspire me. And always remember, know your status, and undetectable is untransmittable. And always be kind.
Amazing, amazing. Thank you so much, and you keep in touch. It was a pleasure having you on the show. Okay, Harley? Take care, okay? Enjoy your weekend.
Thank you, you too.
Bye-bye. Take care. Bye. So, did you like the show? Don't forget to give a like, to share it, and also don't forget to subscribe to the channel. And if you'd like to be part of the show as well, first, subscribe to our channel, and after that, just go to our website, www.williamandthemagicbox.com, and send us a request saying why you'd like to be part of the show. And I see you there. Bye-bye. See you next time.